Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7, and I am back with, as usual, the 2 million credit guide that can be found every single week on this channel. So if you are looking for some help to earn these 2 million credits every single week, get subscribed to the channel. Let me know in the comment section if it helps you out. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, and give it a thumbs up as well, because that does help us out massively on the channel. So we're very close to 58,000 subscribers. So yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, let's get them 58,000 subscribers and push us on past that 58k mark. But yeah, this time trial, we're in the Corvette CA. It's at Laguna Seca. We're with sports medium tires on for this one, so you actually have reasonable grip. So to take part in it, simply go into sport mode, go into the online time trial section that you can see here, and then you're greeted with 3 separate time trials. Now from here, you're going to go in the middle one, but I do have all them available on the channel as track guides. So if you're looking for any of them, go into the 2 million credit playlist. Now, currently, a 32.2 is the goal. That's probably going to be around 31.6 to 7. So I would be aiming for at least a 31.6 to try and get gold. It might go a little bit quicker also, so yeah, just bear that in mind. And obviously likewise for silver and bronze, go a little bit faster than what's currently there, because it's going to go faster. I'm currently P5 in the world, so if you are looking for a ghost to chase, I've set a 30.3 for this track guide. You can load my ghost up and chase it after watching this guide. Now, there is some very important tips I'm going to show you to try and go faster in this time trial, something that not everyone will know about. I've spotted it by watching a ghost time trial and yeah, it really is important to do, and it'll gain you time. I think it's why P1 has hidden his ghost, because he's probably doing something similar. So going into turn 1, you're going to brake and you're going to downshift super aggressive. So we're going to use this little bit of white paint on the left there as our reference. You can use a 4-board, but the whiteboard on the left is a lot easier. So I'm braking just before that, and watch how quickly we downshift. We're going to go down through the gears to second gear very quickly, and it's almost going over the rev limiter. Now what we're going to do is, as we're aiming to try and keep this very tight into apex, we're going to go down to first gear super early and just let it stay in first gear while it's over the rev limiter. For some reason this car reacts really weird with it, and then we're going to double shift up to third gear, and it's almost like a perfect way to get the car rotated through the corner. So yeah, it must be some sort of issue with this car that PD have not... I can't believe this is how this car is meant to be. You shouldn't be able to downshift the way we're doing here, but it works. So into the next corner, we're using the number 2 board as a reference, braking just before that number 2 board. Now we're going to rotate it in third, down to third gear, but we're going to go back up to fourth gear before I hit the curb on the right hand side and start getting on that throttle. So you can see a bit of throttle input, using as much track as possible, maybe going a little bit too far wide there, but not losing too much. Now for the next braking reference, we're using the 2 board. Now I'm going to brake slightly past that number 2 board. You'll see just a fraction past. You can just see the ABS kicking in there, and we're not going to go super aggressive on the brake. Keep your eye on that. We're going to about 60%, and then we're going to fade it off and just trail brake in, and then back onto the throttle as early as possible to carry the momentum in fourth gear out of that exit. Now we're going into the next left-hander, which we're going to brake just before the shadow on the floor from the overhead board there. You can see that shadow, use it as a reference, brake just shy of that, and I'm going to go down into third gear nice and early, and that will help us get the rotation in for this corner. So down to third gear, get it rotated, and you can start turning in quite early. If you get that rotation early, you can get on the throttle really early. So you can see here now, I'm on the throttle, and then that's going to give me the ability to accelerate out the corner and then get up into fourth gear before I get out the exit, which is going to give us really good drive up this hill. Now we're coming into this tricky left-hand corner, which we're going to use the 3 board on the right-hand side as our reference, and we're going to brake just dead on that 3 board. You can see pretty much level with it, front of the car, hitting that 3 board onto the brakes. And again, we're going to trail brake through this corner once we're a little bit further up. So you want to get this car rotating. You can see the line we have to take, and you trail brake, and then just as we hit that apex, as you hit the dip, you're getting back on the throttle. Just be careful you don't go off into the sand on the right-hand side. It's very easy to do. And now we're coming up to the corkscrew, which we're going to use this white bit of paint on the left as our braking reference. It is in the absolutely perfect position for your braking reference, and we're going to do that downshifting, kind of a glitch, whatever you want to call it again. So we're going to go very aggressive through the gears, down to second gear, down to first gear, let it just bounce off the limiter, and then back up to third gear as we go through the corner. So you're going to see it now, trail braking into the corner, trail brake in third gear, and then power your way through the corkscrew. And again, from here, you can see you're going to really go over the curb on the right-hand side, the right-hand tire almost to the edge of the green Astro, and then straightening that calf, and then gradually feeding the power through in third gear. And now for this left-hander, we're going to let the car fade through, but you can see there's a little bit of light that shines through on the track there with the shadows. That's your reference point for getting on the brakes. You can see as we're onto there, onto the brakes very gently, and then we're going to try and hold quite a tight line. I don't like running out wide on this corner. I like to keep it quite narrow, as does the Ghost in front of me. I think that's Nico's Ghost. And then up to 4th gear, use the throttle as we come out of the corner, and then into the next braking zone. I use the little point of the little triangle where that little bit of tarmac goes off as a reference braking before it. So on it nice and early on the brakes. And then in 4th gear, we're just going to trail brake through to this corner. And don't go into 3rd. Just stay in 4th gear. Just trail brake through the corner. Try and get as close as you can to that apex. It's a very difficult apex to get right. And then feed that power in. Just be careful you don't run wide on the exit there. And then we're going to use the start of the curb. You can see there, the first red curb on the right hand side. That's your reference for where you're going to get on the brakes. So as we come through there onto the brakes, you can use the freeboard as well if you want, but I use the start of the curb. And now we're going to downshift aggressively again into 1st gear. Let that weird issue that whatever PD, I don't know if it can't be a legitimate thing with this car, but yeah, let that do its stuff. Then back up to 3rd gear and then power your way out of the corner. Use some of the track on the right hand side just to straighten the car off so you get better exit speed. And then we're going to work our way down to the finishing line for a reasonable lap of 1:30.3. So watch this lap now in full speed. You'll see what I'm talking about a lot more with that downshifting. So as we come in here now, you can actually see it in effect a little bit better than in slow motion. It has to be an unrealistic thing because it's not what you should be doing, but it's the way that seems to work with this car. So keep an eye on them gears. Down to 1st gear, watch it bouncing off the limiter. Then wait for it to start rotating up to 3rd gear. And it almost gives you really good rotation through the corner and perfect rotation. You don't have to do this, but I think this way is faster. It's going to gain you a few temps. So if you want to knock a few temps off your time, I think this is the way to do it with the downshifting. It seems to be gaining me anyway. And also Nico did it as well. And I'm guessing P1 hid his Ghost because he's doing something similar. It's one thing I wish that you couldn't do is hide your Ghost. I don't really agree with it. I think PD should find a way of stopping that because, yeah, I just don't see the point of doing it. The Ghost is supposed to be there to show people what you've done. Hiding it just seems a bit lame in my view, which some people are doing by obviously restarting and exiting straight away when they set their lap. It's done on purpose, so yeah, I'm not keen on it personally. But we're going to watch this lap now again. You can see the shifting as we downshift aggressively there into 1st gear and do the same thing, then back up to 3rd gear. It really helps the car stability on the braking phase and gets it rotated in nicely. So yeah, it's an issue with this car. It's obviously been around for a while because a lot of people knew about it straight away. But if you didn't know, hopefully this will help you out. Again, into the braking zone, you're going to see down to 1st gear and just watch it bounce off the limiter and slows the car down a little bit quicker as well. So yeah, that seems to be the way to do it with this car. Hopefully we've helped you out. Hopefully we've knocked a few temps off your lap and got you them 2 million credits. Let me know in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. It all helps me out. And I'll see you for more video content, YouTube shorts and live streams in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone.